Hello and welcome to the Fuji Speedway in the Shadow of Mt Fuji, Japan. My name is Edward Hunter. Alongside me is Tobias Blumshine, but of course I'll just call him Toby. and we're here, of course, for the it's the 8th round, isn't it? Because there's only two more after this. Of the EERC British Touring Car Championship for 2022. Apologies for the orange screen. Parsec is really lagging on my end, so I can't actually get to the overlay at the moment.
Parsec.
No, it's my computer that's like several decades old. It feels like. Here we go. Right.
We are not sponsored by Parsec. Let's just have those clarification here.
No, let's make that pretty clear, shall we? Right. Let's see if we can refresh the overlay. Whether that solves the problem. Race update box or timing. That's probably what we want for ahead of qualifying, of course, because that's going to be the first session. We should have a grid of about 10 drivers out there at the moment. We might have a couple that show up before race 2 because this is the kind of lead that is, because race 2 being the reverse grid race. And of course, Tobias, you're a former driver in this league. A couple of things have changed since you last competed, of course. I know you've still got that ballast penalty that I believe you are yet to serve, unfortunately. But we won't. We'll count. We'll just let the commentary count as part of that. Really sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. It's being incredibly frustrating on my end, but I will just keep trying and see if I can get rid of this screen. This is why we should just not bother with countdown, because it means I have to click on things. If I have to click on things, it takes forever. And you can tell by the strain of my voice there that I'm getting as annoyed at this as you guys are. Do you know when you click something and then nothing happens?
Yeah, that happens. That's quite annoying. It happens a lot with school computers.
I'm trying to click something, bursary from my school, so back in 2014, well, my uni rather.
Oh my god, 2014.
Okay, it's clicking on the wrong thing now, so that is great.
This shows how much technology has evolved from 2014, 8 years ago.
Yeah, right. Maybe the resolution is too high.
The resolution's fine. Oh, we can see now. We see a car exiting the pits.
Okay, finally. There we go. Right, so we're still in practice, which will be for the next couple of minutes. So we've probably got about enough time to have a brief look at the championship standings. I have dramatically reduced the quality, and that seems to have marginally helped, although perhaps it's made things worse. Who knows at this stage? But here we go. We're loading in, I think, to the... or have we just been kicked out of the...
Fuji.
Yeah, there we go. But anyway,
I mean, it might be an eruption,
Could be knowing Mount Fuji, yeah. At least it's not raining heavily, because that tends to be a big problem with the circuit. But there's just enough time, I think, to take a quick look at the official standings in the drivers, at least in the teams. 100-bet simulation lead by 90 points over Team Iris. Team Iris have got no cars here today, so if 100-bet simulation can stretch the gap to about 140 points, I believe mathematically we will be uncatchable. So there's every chance it could be sealed today. But more interestingly, the Drivers' Championship, currently led by Chris Davis on 72 points. That means he's got 60 kilograms of ballast in the back of his Vauxhall. Then it is Liam Rance in the Subaru on 71 points, 54 kilograms in the back of him. Sven Gielhed, of course, has been absent for a long while. He's even broken his wheel. Was it his wheel or his pedals that he broke, Toby?
Pedals are broke.
Okay,
well, Sven Gielhed.
But that means he doesn't have to lug around 48 kilograms around Fuji, so there's a small mercy there. Alessandro Valente is on 66 points, 42 kilograms in the back of his 100-bet simulation Subaru. First round for Valente in a while as well. Nick Homewood, 64 points, 36 kilograms in the back of race director and driver steward. Quite literally driver steward Nick Homewood. We've got Loic Moynier, who's I think having to miss this round, in 6th on 59 points. He's got 30 kilograms in the back. And then the last of our title contenders is Mia Rose in the 3rd 100-bet simulation car, who has actually finished on the podium in I think all of her races. Mia Rose on 54 points, 24 kilograms in the back. So she's probably got the least junk to lug around. So that's going to be a big advantage for her compared to the other title contenders. But let's not forget we've got the likes of Into the Points, Pull Street Boys, and Lev Speed Gendrick Beerhoff, I believe, is in the server at the moment as well. So keep an eye on those guys. And apologies, I'm not quite able to get into the... It'd be good if someone told me how R-Factor worked, because I don't actually know what to press to get into full screen on the
okay,
monitor.
you see the full screen thing on... Okay, I'm...
There it is, right. I think I pressed it, or I might have just pressed the thing that let me get into the window. Should I press it again, just to make sure?
You can passenger someone as a joke, I mean... It would be pretty amusing.
R-Factor's broken, I need to restart it.
There we go! It's just a notification from Race Director Nick Homewood there that R-Factor has actually broken. So this isn't just our end that's not holding up here.
During that time, we'll be talking about the history of the Fuji Speedway.
There we go. Fascinating history, though, of course. Held the first ever Japanese Grand Prix in 1976.
Yeah, where Niki Lauda famously
James Hunt won the championship by a point over Niki Lauda that day by finishing in third. Or was it a couple of points? It was definitely very close. And
he finished third because he had a puncture.
Pouring rain conditions.
That's what happened in the movie.
The race should probably have been delayed or postponed or cancelled, but they decided to go ahead with it anyway because Bernie Ecclestone had sold all of the TV rights, so they waited basically for it to dry a little bit. And I think Niki Lauda said, "Oh, I kind of wish I hadn't pulled out because I didn't realise the rain was going to dry up." But there we go. So we go exactly. Yeah.
Hindsight was 2020.
There's look at the calendar there. As you can see, Fuji definitely the 8th round. So I definitely did remember save correctly because I accidentally said it was the 7th round. That was, of course, Road America last month, where Mia Rose, I believe, won both races in a pretty superb display. I believe she's won 3 out of the 4 races she's done so far, and the other one she finished 4th in. So pretty much on a roll at the moment. Yeah. But after this, of course, we have got Imola on.
Okay, I've got the history now.
We've got Imola on the screen's too small, I can't read it. But it's somewhere in September we've got Imola, and then we've got the finale in Bahrain in October. Remember, this is the support series to the Endurance series, but of course Season 2, which the plans are being made for at the moment, that won't be a support series. That will be its sort of own independent thing with the official British Touring Car mod, I believe, that's just come out, and using the official sort of British tracks for that as well.
We are not sponsored by Studio 397.
Well,
I don't think
we might have done
sponsors.
at one point, but I think after Ukraine got invaded, all bets are off. So I'm not sure if Sad Looking Peters is still paying us anything. But they do, yeah.
Yeah, they still show up.
I think because we're too lazy
so
to get rid of
we can clarify now.
Anyway, Toby, you were just about to inform us about the history of this racetrack that sits in the shadow of Mount Fuji that's existed for, nigh on about 50 years now, I think.
I'm definitely not reading this off
Racing Circuits.info.
Fuji Speedway. Oh God, no! This is better. Fuji Speedway began life in unusual circumstances when plans for a NASCAR-style oval set in the foothills of the famous mountain were put forward in the early 1960s. With Honda Suzuka test track already established, the new facility would also provide the other manufacturers of the burgeoning Japanese motor industry another track to test their
which manufacturer
machinery.
This not Toyota, is it? Honda. You were going on about.
No.
Honda have Suzuka.
Suzuki, maybe.
So I thought Fuji was a Toyota one, but it might be Suzuki motorcycles.
I think it's just
all the other non-Honda
manufacturers.
Of course, Fuji infamously showed up in pole position, didn't it? One of the very first, not sim racing games, but just racing games in general on arcades in the early 80s.
Yeah. Big up Fuji.
No.
Anyway, let me continue my story. By June 1964, a 1.5 million square meter site had been identified and bought, with construction beginning immediately. The design took its inspiration from the Daytona Speedway cab and was to feature 2 long straights connected by banked corners. The first of these banked corners was well underway when a visitor Sterling Moss, invited by the Japanese to be the progress, told circuit bosses that he thought it was unrealistic to complete an oval circuit in such mountainous terrain, and had some reservations about the design to date. History doesn't record whether this was a decisive intervention with construction cost mounting. There wasn't enough money to complete the silicon banking, even if they had been determined to do so. Plans were revised and the circuit completed as a road course overlooked by a giant grandstand on the long main straight. The challenge in plans forced an abandonment of the NASCAR contract, although the Speedway name remained. In October 1965, the Mitsubishi company acquired a controlling interest in the project. Well, there's the car company. Anyway, we have a few paragraphs.
We have just got back to the qualifying server, and we see the full grid of about 10 waiting to be released. Oh, is it?
And it's raining. It's raining.
It's slightly less than ideal, I guess. But I'm sure it will create some entertainment for us, the commentators / spectators.
Yes, we can make fun of Mark Webber puking in his helmet.
As seen in the 2007. And there we go, it looks very wet as we see beer hopping. Oh, that looks like one Hunter Birches. It must be either Liam Rance or Valente just drifting out into the pit lane. Exactly, so...
Style.
I know it's one of them because Mia Rose...
As we see the majestic Fuji
Queen's design logo on it. But you'll know it when you see it. Very solid.
I could probably hop in without anyone minding.
I mean, why not? Apart from the
as you watch the
ballast and I think you've yet to serve, but you might be safer here in the comment box. Just
as we watch Team Les Gendrick Beerhoff go through.
I believe Beerhoff is in maximally traffic.
Never mind.
Captain Ben Boros now.
Yeah, Ben Boros in the PSB car. I've always liked their liveries. I mean, I've never had to stare at them for much because I'm past them usually. Again, me being arrogant, I'm joking. PSB, huge respect. You got a cool logo, so no. As we're going under the company we will not provide for any, and none of these companies are going to be named. We have Mia Rose here in the
Hunter Burt simulation car. That's the. Yeah, there we go.
Good drifting.
Mia Rose, of course. Her and Liam Rance really excelled in the wet conditions at Road Atlanta earlier in the season. There is Valente making his way around the little chicane to the back end of the circuit, of course, which is infamously in 2008, I believe, where Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton came to blows, with, I believe, Massa spinning around.
They came to blows in so many
exactly,
places.
Exactly, 2008, 2011 both come to mind. This seasons where they were constantly getting in each other's way. As I believe Valente is about to start his lap in the 82, which of course...
Yeah. We should... I should try and approach the rest of the battle to do this.
That's true.
He's got no
right on board. Valente not with... Yeah, let's go through it next. Here we go. Climbing, building up speed through the start-finish straight, and here we go, approaching the timing line now.
Yeah. Alright, so he's probably at full speed, I don't know. Going into turn 1, he'll probably want to brake towards the end of the pit lane now. Yep, you can clearly see it. Will he get it stopped in time? No, he won't. Wait, yeah, he will. He will. He's on full acceleration. Clearly got... Yeah, it's strange to see that on a front-wheel drive car. Going down under the Panasonic logo. Not sponsored by them. Going into turn 3, I can't that pink. It's a bit like Hungary, those first 2 corners. Going in good. Gets it on the exit. My God, the car control there is impressive. Now he's really losing the rear there.
Across the purple first sector, maybe he barely struggles to keep it on track. That looks.
The car control.
That's the rear-wheel drives.
It looks tough
around the circuit.
Now going into the hairpin,
especially in the wet, it does not play to the strength of.
It looks like he's driving a sedan.
It looks like a Formula Drift car.
I mean, that thing has looked like a sedan. He's taking that the Subaru down into the next under the ING board where he's going to want to brake hard on the brakes. You can see how that thing is really trying to turn in. Gets it nicely done. Lights up the exit.
It is. Yes.
Is that a wheel?
He's coming up to Beerhoff in the Vauxhall lead speed as well. So that's going to be quite interesting at the end of the lap. But he's only got this couple of corners left to go, and then the final little sort of half hairpin, as I call it. But here we go. The visibility is poor. The grip is poor, and he needs to make sure he doesn't trip over or himself or the Vauxhall ahead of him.
Yeah, that front-wheel drive car is going to have a huge advantage.
Have to deal with the balance Valente does, being 4th in the championship and all. What a compromised exit there. And it looks like Liam Rance has actually beaten both of his sectors. There we go. So first lap on the board for Liam Rance of 1:54.7, it looks like.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be a 54.
I might
No,
be
definitely not. It's a
misreading
2
that,
minute
'cause the
time.
text is really tiny on mine. 58.
But yeah, it's a 158. It's 157 something.
And Valente
56,
2
actually.
seconds
I
slower,
don't
so that
know.
really shows how much of an easier time Liam Rance was having on his run, I think. But
I mean, it also shows that.
yeah,
Actually,
well,
that doesn't show
maybe
anything
perhaps
because
it's a
they're
setup
on
thing, or perhaps Liam
Yeah.
Rance, as Mia Rose slots in the middle, still 2.99. Yeah, it's his fixed setup. You're right, actually. So that was just Valente being a bit green, and I should appreciate that, given that you've shared a car with him in endurance on occasion. But here's Liam Rance.
He hasn't driven a month, so he has a
True.
skill issue.
But let's see if he
Easy
can.
skill issue.
It's not easiest to jump back in and look at Liam Rance on this lap. Even though the two sectors are a bit slower, he looks a little more in control. As we look at Mia Rose, who's just got in front of the lev speed of that looks like Petravki. We know Mahue and Davis, so it's basically lev speed. As we see Mia Rose lighting up the rear tyres, and she's going far personal best in the first sector here. Oh, she struggles to hold on to that one.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
terrible exit. It's just that rear wheel drive. They're going to struggle most of the race, I think, to keep the tyres.
There isn't,
Or
because
is there even tyre wear
they
anymore? I
specifically
don't
turned
remember
off
the
because
ruling.
it felt like Nick Homewood and the organisers felt like the high tyre wear favoured the Subarus because all the other cars were worse at tyre wear because they're front wheel drive, so it puts all the pressure on the front tyres. But there we go, Mia Rose a little bit slower in the second sector, and because it's a nearly 2 minute lap here, it's going to run out quite quickly, I think, so there is a danger of not getting a lap in time if you leave it too late.
I believe we have to also.
It is, even in the rain.
Beautiful. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely track. Yeah. I mean, I know how many people hate the sector. I don't mind it. It's not bad. But it is on Fuji.
Here we
They
go.
all want that
Bierhoff
long
improves to
last
sixth
corner.
then.
However, that would.
Yeah, he's 9 seconds off, but he
9
improves his
seconds
time,
off.
I think, is what I meant
Small
to
distance,
say.
small gap.
But let's see what Mia Rose can do a little bit further back as she approaches the start-finish line. There we go. So I think Bierhoff may have
got a
just
yellow
spun
sector
immediately
one.
after we came off of him. But there we go. Mia Rose immediately has a little intervention with the barrier and decides to go back to the pit lane. So it's looking like Liam Rance is pretty much set for pole with a Hunterbird Simulation 1-2-3, which has not happened before. Although Chris Davis gets in between. There we go, in third. Chris Davis, of course, our championship leader, and Boros actually gets up to fifth as well, just ahead of Pascal Eggert. So a good effort there by the Paul Street Boys driver, and of course the Lev Speed number 75. And Davis will be hoping to get as close to Liam Rance as he can, of course, because those are the two fighting for the championship. And he knows he can do some real damage today if he can take advantage of the front-wheel drive car and the advantage it's got relative to the Subaru that the Hunterbird Simulation cars all enlist the use of.
Let's
Why
just
not?
talk a bit more about the Fuji circuit. Currently, I think it's being used by three big series. I think it's being used by the GT World Challenge Asia series, Super GT, which is an amazing series, though GT 500s look gorgeous, and the Super Formula series. Very underrated series. I have
Speaking
to
of
say.
underrated,
Super Formula cars are
Schumann
awesome.
sets a brilliant lap for third. So it seems like there's a big contest for third with Rose and Rance. The two R's, of course, a long way ahead of everyone else in the qualifying stat order at the moment. Anyway, sorry, Tobias. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I was talking about formerly known as Formula Nippon, but because they had two races outside of Japan, they couldn't call it Formula Nippon anymore. So it's Super Formula now. Why did they add a halo?
I think we're getting a bit off track. As we go into the final couple of minutes, we've got about 5 minutes left of the session then. As we look at Bierhoff locking up and struggling to get it turned in for the first corner as we ride on board with the lev speed. And it looks like Davis and Valente have gone back to the pit lane in their battle for third. So Schumann might be able to spring a surprise here as we see everyone apart from Homewood and Michael Cole, so we've got 12 cars on track, has set a lap time. I believe Cole drives, is Cole an independent or does he drive for the, is it ATR Falcons, I think. As we look at, pretty sure it's 80.
What does he usually drive for? Wait, isn't ATR Falcon?
the Speedy.
That's old team
The Speedy.
Falcon. Jesus. All hail Team Falcon. Thank God it's back.
They've
I
done
missed
surprisingly
that team.
well, actually. Makel, I believe, got a top 6 or top 7 at Road Atlanta after basically a load of people ran out of fuel on the last lap, but he was doing it. Indeed. So
Pick up my
there's
old
Pascal, the 444. It's had its fair share of incidents, but a couple of good races. I think he finished in the top 4, top 5 a couple of times. And indeed, yes, that Fenelon had used all season, and the Ford Focus could well be the car of choice. It was pretty rapid in Road Atlanta. We got Schumann in third at the moment, and Pascal Leggett starts his lap then. He didn't improve the previous time around, till down in 8th. He'll certainly hope to improve. Let's watch this lap by Pascal as we see the rain. It hasn't gotten any better, has it? The conditions. Pascal goes straight on. It's almost like a running river at turn 1. It's looking a bit 1976/2007 Grand Prix, if you ask me.
Yeah, we'll probably have some guy shout at a youngster, puke in his helmet, have Robert Kibitz, someone fight like Robert Kibitz, Felipe Massa did, have that guy have an incident. We'll have the guy that puked in his helmet crash out because he's been hit under yellow flag
Here
conditions.
we go. I mean, look at Beerhoff once again struggled, taking the wide line into turn 1 as is that Homewood who comes up to third. Wow, what a lap by Nick Homewood there. So definitely the Ford Focus really performing, and it really shows the job that Liam Rance and Mia Rose are doing, if I say so myself as the team owner. And Nick Homewood, of course, who spent so much time helping us get set up in about the dying 4 minutes of the session, sets third fastest time.
Yeah,
there we go. Great lap by Mia Rose, actually, to take provisional pole position in the 909, and by a whole second over Liam Rance there. That's a 57. But Liam Rance almost immediately pips that to the tune of about a tenth of a second. So it's very, very tense between the 200 Birch simulation cars at the moment. Anyway, back to Fuji facts, I guess.
Fuji facts. I'll read more of the racing circuits on I guess. Okay, so safety fears prompt changes. Into the 1980s, Fuji remained a largely national venue, with a yearly visit of the World Endurance Championship, the main event road. Which, let's just go to like the modern time, the actual stuff we care about. In October 2000, the Toyota Motor Corporation completed a buyout of the facility from Mitsubishi. They were bought and announced plans to redevelop the circuit to Formula 1 standards. Hermann Tilke, our favourite person to redesign racetrack. We've heard a lot about him. So. Yeah. In 2003, the circuit was... When it reopened in 2005, an ultra-modern facility had sprung, with a layout which broadly followed the original, save from the seemingly endless final corner, which was now replaced by a low-speed arena section. Most of the old banked section of the track was demolished, save for a small section which was preserved, fenced off and acting as a permanent reminder of a very different era of racing. Toyota got the chance to show off its Formula 1 cars at its home venue in 2007 and 2008. Though in both cases, Fuji weather demos were in full play, causing numerous delays and affecting the race weekends adversely. The 2007 event met with criticism from some reporters that Toyota was too controlling, with fans banned from setting up flags and banners to support any other teams and drivers. There were also complaints of poor sight lines from some of the grandstands and total transport gridlock among the shuttle bus fleet. Fleet fans bring fans in and out of the circuit. For the second year, the Sunday ticket allocation was slashed by 30,000 in a bid to ease the transportation problem, while spectator facilities were improved, including the installation of bigger TV screens. Despite this, ticket sales were still not as expected, and following the event it was decided by the FOM that the Grand Prix would be shared between Fuji, Speedway and Suzuka on alternate years. Suzuka duly held the 2009 race, by which time the global recession had hit Toyota hard, and it decided to pull out of all of its Formula 1 obligations. Fuji thus found itself reverting to a largely national schedule of events for the second time in its history, with sports cars the notable exception. In a repetition of past history, following the loss of Formula 1 to the circuit's major race today is the annual visit of the World Endurance Championship. Even that has not been without its dramas. 2013 event having been
So a big
abandoned
twitch
due to
by
poor
Mia
weather
Rose is
after
into
just
the
16
first
laps
hairpin there,
had been-
Toby.
Yeah. After just 16 laps have been completed, all of them under the safety car. Unlike many other international top-level tracks, Fuji has always encouraged the sport of drifting, allowing the D1 series to run one or two rounds there each season. Furthermore, Fuji Speedway also offers a small separate drift track inside its ground, as well as a smaller short track, which is used for
Right, checkered flag
track
out.
day events and driving courses, as well as national. Let me quickly finish. As well as national champ, I'm like on the final 3 lines, you know. As well as national championship events, Fuji also hosts the popular Nismo festivals and Toyota Motorsport Festival, and the circuit is available for enthusiasts.
Good lap there by Valente to get up to 4th position there, but Liam Rance has set a purple middle sector in his fight against Mia Rose. It looks like Liam Rance might just have the edge here as he comes out through the final corner, lets the rear hang out, and now it's just that run to the line for him. Where's Mia Rose? Mia Rose has also set a purple middle sector too, but here we go, towards the line comes the number 64 100-bit simulation. He's taking the shortest line. He's going into the pit lane, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. So Liam Rance will not go any faster. It's all down to Mia Rose then to see if she can get onto pole position, but it's going to be 1st, 2nd and 4th for 100-bit simulation at the moment, with Davis in 3rd after another superb lap by the Lev Speed driver. But here we go. Rose powers towards the line now, and there's only a couple of seconds to go. It's going to be very, very decisive here. Who's going to start on pole position? It's Mia Rose. There we go. For the 2nd race running, actually the 3rd, I believe. Mia Rose secures pole position with a superb lap there in the most treacherous of conditions, right at the death. And I think Liam Rance knew at the end there he'd not quite done enough, and that's why he went into the pit lane.
Yeah, well done to Mia Rose. She's had a good qualifying. Hopefully she'll be able to repeat. Well, for her sake, she'll be able to repeat in the race.
Certainly, there's a reverse race to come after as well, so I wouldn't rule out any carnage whatsoever. Yeah. But shall we see if we can have a brief look at the at the actual standings? I believe because I put the resolution so low, it actually won't show the things at the side that would let me click on the bloody standing. There we go. Right. Session results, that's what we want, not practice. Qualifying. If I say it, maybe it'll work a bit faster. It's like a... Nah.
So
we should set up a sort of voice command thing. Right. There we go. Qualifying 1. That looks...
Yeah.
Oh, is it still on practice 1? Bloody thing. I hope it shouldn't.
I have to say, Suzuka's little like extra
layouts.
They
do. The big Ferris wheel
amusement park
in the background.
Pretty cool.
The final corner. Oh, they do.
Yeah, but they've also got like a mini Suzuka.
So this is the kind of expertise that you provide to buyers. There we go. There's your overall grid then. So, do you want to take us through, Toby?
I know. Yeah, in P1 we've got the ever quick Mia Rose, Liam Rance, P2. Then we got Chris Davis for Team Love Speed, the first non-Hunter Birch. Then we have Alessandro Valente, as I call him, for the dub. Fina Von, we've got Nick Homewood. Thank you for setting up the stream again, Nick. Peter Sherman, the South African, who I thought was Dutch, in P6 for Fina Von. He's South African. Thomas McHugh, Team Left Speed, 81. Only person I know who's racing controller. Big rep, big ups. Ben Sporas, PSB cut driver. Good driver, very quick. Maximilian Petrovsky for Team Left Speed, German driver, 22. Cool. Pascal Egger, Fina Von Motorsport car. He runs the Formula E for EERC. Great league. I've also had my controversies there, which do not need to be gotten into. Michael Colley for Into the Points Racing. Big up Into the Points. Number 2, 32. Just starting penultimately, who cares? And then Generic Bierhoff again. Last 11, 22. 2075.
There's a grid then. And, it's very interesting. You are, of course, LMP2 race winner in Interlagos this season, so we should focus more on that and the success you've had rather than the controversies, I think.
Yeah, that race was fun. Good stuff. Yeah, at the beginning of the race, we didn't think we'd have a chance because of how good the other drivers were. We were like, what happens. Then Che and Sven put in a monster of a stint. I didn't practice much for that, to be honest. I should have practiced more. I was a bit slow and I was being caught slowly by my competitors. But we won, and it was a good feeling because it meant that I finally got a win in R-Factor 2, and it comes in such a prestigious league. If you want to join, you can join the Discord.
Sorry, this is me just struggling with the overlay to get everything back up as it was before. There we go, we've got the driver box, just haven't got the time.
Yeah, you know, I'm advertising.
It's timed races, I believe, so we got... or is it 22 minutes? Yeah, there we go. Right, okay.
Oh, I'm getting pinged.
If you need to go off anywhere, Tobias, then just let me know and I'll carry on. It'll be fine. Okay, that's... sure thing. But anyway, the grid being set up at the moment, which is great news for us, because that means racing is probably about to get going very soon. There you go, there's your timing box. And it's of course Mia Rose, who's yet to get out of the pit lane and onto the starting grid, but when she does, we should be getting going very quickly. I believe her and Bierhoff and Chris Davis yet to show up on the grid. But there you go. You can see the 300 simulation drivers all in close company with one another, and very, very important that they don't take each other out from my point of view as the team owner. But there we go, there's Chris Davis who's popped in, so we should be getting going very, very soon. I believe it's just Boros getting on the grid now. A long run into turn 1 as well, isn't it, Toby?
Alright, so
here you go.
Should I say the should I get it ready? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And we're off the grid. Bit of a better start from Mia Rose. Really good off the line. Everyone else, shoddy start. Yeah, Liam Rods is being
Homewood
handed through the field. What's happened with him? Mia Rose
Here we go into turn 1. Valente gets the brakes way too late.
Yeah, that's why I call him Valente.
And the Valente fly past him. So a big mistake there. That puts Liam Rance back, briefly back into second. But there's Nick Homewood now that takes control of that second place position from Boros, who made another great getaway for Trafke and Schoonman. So not a great start for the two sister cars for Mia Rose, but she's
Davis also had a terrible start, as we really got the first retirement.
He didn't look like he has lasted long then. But there's Michael Cole, who's not made a great start either. I believe... oh, Schoonman and Valente having a little battle here. So we can have a look at that. That's Liam Rance's spun. Oh no.
Oh, as there's a spin in the background. Not the best start. Obviously, it's a long race, anything can happen. As we have a diving, he's behind Michael Cole. It will be a comeback, and if he doesn't want to overtake today, he can go get the reverse.
The thing about Ben's Boros
might be his tactic, you know,
is that the Paul Street Boys driver infamously likes to drift rounds quite hard on the rear tyres, but with tyre wear now no longer a factor, he could be a lot stronger here. You see Valente really challenging the back of Peter Schoonman. Here we go.
Dive.
Wide, and Valente slots himself up the inside of the last hairpin.
He does it.
McHugh in the background, I think. The Irish driver there has got the inside line then. But it's Valente still side by side with Peter Schoonman, and he's going to need to hope he breaks a bit earlier into turn 1 than he did at the start. So
lap 1.
20 minutes remaining.
It's going to be about a 11 lap race, I think. So go into turn 1, the HBS car going into turn 1, just slightly behind Petter. However, can he get him on the brakes? No, he's...
There we go, but I think he's clear. Oh no, Peter is still on the inside.
No, he's not. This is the racing we like. How he's on the inside line, and
something must have gone wrong at the start there. And here we go. Schoonman's going to sweep around the outside. That's brave, isn't it, by the Ford Focus Sprinavon driver? And now...
yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and now for Trafke, he's looking a bit vulnerable to the Sprinavon driver. Oh, he hits the inside! And that's going to allow Valente to bump up the inside as well.
Have we got Alessandro?
Wow.
That's touring car racing for you. A
little mistake. Peter Schoonman still there. He's hanging in on the outside, but that's not going to be the ideal line. He's got to complete the loop before they get to the right-hand hairpin. There we go.
No, he's not got him. Oh, he's trying to switch back with, isn't he?
And that
He's
can
trying
make
it.
you get involved in this as well.
Traffic's gone wide. That means that... Yeah, Valente's off the road.
Oh, and look like
this
Schumacher
is all
got
happening.
hit in the back by
This is
Thomas
wild.
McHugh there on the controller, as we mentioned. But they just about survived.
What?
Oh!
What?
There we go. McHugh's getting a
What's
little
that
bit.
cartoon?
He's getting his nose in. That's been.
Now McHugh, will he do the dive bomb to the inside? I'll stay around the outside. Really big swoop. Pizza staying a bit closer. Has he got a dive bomb in him? I beg. I love the dive bombs. We see Alessandro Valente slipstreaming down the long main straight. Isn't short, is it?
I think the
Has
big
got a new
loser
best lap from
really,
Nero's
apart from
5
Liam
second
Rance,
gap
was
within 2 minutes.
Chris Davis as well. So the two of them, remember they're the championship leaders, both running last and penultimate in the order at the moment. Apart from Michael Cole, of course. Oh, here we go. Valente up the inside into turn one, and that's a very clean move indeed. And not too much that Petrafsky could really do unless he can get a decent exit here.
Yeah, Peter Schuneman's coming in now, isn't he?
And Boris is
I have a feeling we're going to see a dive bomb from Petrafsky. Are we? Yes, we are.
Petrafsky, going off track.
We need to know. Now we got Peter Schuneman
very back and forth. They're all really evenly matched. Schumann once again trying up the inside. This is where they make contact before. It looks like Michael Cole has got off track in the he's down now in the Eagle Point blue car, and off goes Petrafsky. So that's another place for Schumann. There we go. The two lead speeds close together. Will Petrafsky let?
We've got a thing for Boris.
There we go, we have Boris having a go.
Schumann trying it.
Nick Homewood then, as all Valente has to get very defensive, and there's that Petrafsky going off track as well.
Probably.
There we go, so Valente somehow survived
as
that
we go
assault.
into the stadium section.
Very, very racy there. We saw him qualifying. There we go, and I wouldn't be surprised if Boris has another go at Homewood before the race is at. Remember, he had that in his fighting for his first podium of the season as well, so of course Speed Boys can't afford to throw this one away. Their one-car entry.
As we watch Schuneman taking a nice white line, really going to try and
goes a little bit wide on exit, but that won't lose too much time as Boris is well and truly in the slipstream of Nick Homewood, and is he going to dive out as they approach towards the first corner? This is Boris we're on board with.
No, this is
here we go. The Subaru takes to the outside line. The Ford Focus on the inside. How late will Nick Homewood break as Valente behind is also getting very defensive from Schuneman. And there we go. Boris was not quite able to get the overlap he needed. And Schumann had to go off track there with Valente. So Valente.
And Nikius will say thank you very much. As it gets a bit feisty there. We've also got in the background, we got what does it say? McHugh's DNF.
That's very bad news indeed. He has. There he is in the pits, so that's a disconnection it looks like for Thomas McHugh. What's happened?
What's happened? We need to know.
We can see on our screens that fight for second really. It looks like Valente and Schumann are slowly catching Boris and Homewood as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Valente has a try to get on the podium here. Meanwhile, Davis and Liam Rance are a long way down in the order, really only fighting each other for what will be 8th place, I believe, when they catch up to the retired car of McHugh.
His internet died.
Yeah, he did that the previous lap as well. I suspect that's him having to brake late and being defensive there into that hairpin chicane section.
He's got really like that.
Really wants to get through, but as a Nick Homewood fan, Boris really slides the rear out there as they get towards the end of the lap. Of course, yes. As a former racer,
commentator, I have to be neutral. I do not have
any
particular favourites. Former racer, excuse me. I continue.
That's true. You're still an Irish.
I am still a current racer. This is Sancho right now.
That's
my employers.
Anyway,
my light on.
We get into Amir Rose sets another fastest lap of the race. He's got the gap over Homewood to about 10 seconds now. So I imagine when we talk to Amir Rose at the end of this, she's going to sound very happy indeed. Look at this! Valente having to get defensive on the outside. and swerve across the road, and he misses his braking ball, but so does Tuneman.
Oh, fanny's me.
That's a bit bizarre,
Next
isn't it?
go on.
And that's going to be music to the ears of the left speed drivers.
Yeah.
But Petrafsky is a little bit too far behind. Eggert seems to have gone into the pits, has he? That could be to serve the penalty from earlier. I suspect Eggert may have just jumped the start simply. But there we go. Unfortunate for him because he got in between. That's going to put him sort of about where Davis is, isn't it? But there we go. Valente holding on then to that 4th position. And that's okay. They're barely audible.
Pardon my hiccups.
What is audible for Nick Homewood is the sound of that Subaru of Boros drifting and really roaring up behind him as he has been the whole race. It looks like they've started to get the gap to Valente under control now. Just look at Michael Cole struggling. There's Liam Rance, 2.4 seconds behind his title rival Chris Davis. So Davis at the moment set to slightly extend his lead, but of course remember we've still got the reverse grid race to come. I wonder if that will factor into Liam Rance's decision making here if he can't get close enough to Chris Davis, because he could start on the front row just with only McHugh Cole ahead of him in race 2. But here we go. Boros is not giving up. Are you? Is there something interesting going on your end? You keep going. Oh, it's the hiccups. Right.
Hiccups.
I thought something interesting is happening. It's very curious hiccups.
No. Well, there's the interesting race thing. I get hiccups.
Even me doing commentary. But there we go. Boros yet again having to tuck in as Schoenman once again gets behind Valente. Will they both make turn 1 on this occasion? Here we go. Looks like Valente's gone wide, and that's let Peter Schumann get just a little bit alongside. Will he swoop around the outside once again in that Ford Focus? Here we go. It's Boros. Continues to challenge.
No, that's Ben's.
There we go. Looks like Valente just held on there. It was very, very close there.
Oh, now I know. Remember where it's from.
Of course, yes.
The Lance Stroll moment.
But hopefully my direction isn't too bad. But if there's anything to see, of course you can type in chat. I won't see it, but I'll try and cut to it nonetheless. Mia Rose, we haven't seen a whole lot of Mia Rose because she's just been out front dominating essentially. The lead now 11 seconds as Boros once again tucks in behind, and the two drift as they go into the chicane, and Liam Rance, Valente, getting once again quite defensive. But looks like this is really the battle we've got to focus on for the last 10 minutes, this big battle for second. And Homewood doing a great job defending so far, but I think Boros will try something before this race is out, Toby. I don't see him just slotting in and staying comfortable in third. I think he'll go balls to the wall here. Well, he's also a certain type of racer.
Yeah, he's a racing driver.
You've seen him at the Nordschleife, where I believe he started on the front row after about 3 people qualified.
No, because
I know, but what my point I was going to say was that Boros was drifting every corner at the Nordschleife, which was quite frightening for him. Here we go, Boros tucks in behind, almost hits the back of Nick Homewood, has to react in time there, but Homewood makes him go the long way round once more into turn 1 with the spray starting to reduce. I believe it has stopped raining now. It's great. Oh, he bumps into the back of the Ford Focus there, but Boros has to stay behind. And has Valente stayed ahead of Peter Schumann? Looks like Schumann has actually dropped behind a little bit. As we go into the final 10 minutes of the race then. So
the
there's Davis. He's actually lost out. Liam Rance 1.5 seconds ahead of him now. So Liam Rance has actually got ahead of his title rival. They're absolutely crucial for the championship. They're only a point between these two. As Schumann starts to close a little bit back onto Alessandro Valente in the fight for 4th position.
As I was saying, Nordschleife had not very good memories then.
Yes, in
I disconnected from the lead.
I don't think there's anything anybody could have done there to avoid that. But nonetheless, we continue. And Boros gets a little opening approach.
The track.
But
no, but he's been going.
I wonder if Homewood is starting to look a little more vulnerable here.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's got a chance into this corner. Please dive in.
I wonder if without the tyre wear,
he's
it's sort
taking
of
the fight line.
made this a little bit easier for Nick Homewood. Or up the
It's
inside.
trying much a lot now. As we got Ben's Boris going down the
No, he's
inside
still
of the
alongside.
fire.
He almost loses
Has
the
he got
rear
him?
and does well
Has
to
he got
get that
him?
under control.
Oh.
But Nick Homewood is still there on the
Good save.
outside, and Valente will be loving this because Boris is going to be herding all the way down the straight here. As Homewood, there we go, slots back in, and now Boris gets a bit more slipstream though.
Yeah.
As you're right, there's a dry line really starting to emerge here.
Yeah.
And now Boris, once again, will have to go the long way around to the outside. Can the Paul Street Bulls driver brake late enough? Nick Homewood is going to try and
Space down the
control
inside.
the Subaru here. Oh, Boris sticks his foot in on the outside.
Gonna go
Can he
wide.
make this
No,
move
no.
into turn 3 and 4? He's still alongside there. And Boris will have to throw it in.
As we see
Here we go.
as it's
And
getting
he's
even
done
drier
it.
and drier.
Oh, has he? As he goes a little bit wide on exit, Homewood is still there on the outside. He's held that second position for so long, but it looks like Vance Boros has cleared him. There we go. That was a pretty telegraphed move. Oh, and Valente really
but we know
starting
he's
to get
gonna
involved
dive it.
here as
Oh.
well. As Boros all out breaks himself.
Yeah, we could have a good dive. We could have a good battle going into the next corner here as we go up into the next corner into the new
Yeah,
section.
and Homewood is going to
Which
try
everyone
and go
hates. Into the chicane, go
inside,
up.
is he?
Come on,
Or
dive,
is he
dive,
gonna-
dive.
Oh, needs to be careful.
Oh, rear end
Clean
him.
move. Oh, is Boros really drifting there, even with no tyre wear? It's clear the wets are a little bit past their best now, aren't they? We're getting into dry territory.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mia Rose
I
might
think
make some
that-
pits up
yeah,
with the gap that
it's
she's
definitely
got
dry
to,
territory now,
Boros
so these
behind
things-
now, which is
It's 34
anyway.
seconds actually.
It's
that I
like
don't think
18
she's gonna
seconds on
get a
the
pit yet.
on-screen monitor. But here we go. Nick Homewood now having to get defensive because
It is like
Valente
18
is right with him. And here we go, through the last one of the three of them go in the battle for second position. In the last 6 minutes, Toby, this could go either way between these three.
Yeah. You never know, they could all wipe each other out
Stranger
and get
things have
Peter going
happened.
into
It's still
so,
Mia
yeah.
Rose's best lap of the race,
Anything.
153.6. As Homewood goes to the inside. And now back
Mia
onto the
Rose.
racing line. Paul Valente was a bit closer than he was there, I think. And Schumann is really starting to get dropped out of this fight. Oh, up the inside goes Alessandro.
Yeah, Peter's not had the best of things. As
It's going to be difficult.
Can he,
Homewood's
can
got
he-
the
can he whip
overlap.
around the outside?
So there we go. And they both continue as Homewood and Boros have got their lights on the front, interestingly. So that shows the time of day here at Fuji. But now Valente is here, yellow in the first sector. I'm not sure who that's for. Oh! There's a little bit of lag there. And Valente goes really wide there. As it looked like Homewood got lag into the back of into the front of Valente there. So I'm not sure he could have done too much about that. Still 5 minutes left, of course. But that's really hurt his momentum. And he'll have to dust himself off and recover. His Rant's closing on.
Seeming as common.
He is. He's about 40 seconds behind Eggert, actually. So that really shows how much time him and Davis lost at the early phase of the race. There's Petravsky just holding on from Eggert at the moment. Oh, well, not for much longer. Wide he goes. And that's going to let Pascal Eggert through into 6th position then. Yeah, after that penalty, could have been a much bigger point. So he could have been right with Schumann and maybe ahead of Schumann. And in this battle that we're seeing at the moment, as Valente really rocketing it around the outside to try and get in the wheel tracks of Nick Homewood. So I'm sorry about your hiccups. You might want to brace yourselves for the last couple of minutes here, Toby, because it's going to get very tense. One thing they're not going to get is
they're going to go
because the rain has officially stopped now, and looking like I think it's too late really to switch to the dry tyres here. I could see maybe Schumann trying to switch to dries, but because he's the only one who might not lose too much out of it, or someone like Liam Rantz maybe. But at the moment, in fact, did Liam Rantz actually go for as we see Pascal Eggert actually? Actually, that's a delay on my end. I think Pascal's already through past Petravsky. Boris is starting to get a little bit of a gap now on Homewood. So now it's Homewood versus Valente for that final spot on the podium. So I wouldn't bet against Alessandro trying a little move here, but Nick Homewood, who's been on the defensive the whole race, is very early actually to try and get the best exit here. And then, oh, Boris has spun! That's it, Boris has spun and thrown away second position and retired as well. What cruel luck for the Paul Street Boys driver. And that does put indeed Valente onto the podium then, but can he get second position to make it a Underbird Simulation 1-2? It's only Nick Homewood that stands in his way now. So you were right that there would be a crash. But Toby, I should have listened to you on that. And there might be another one here if Valente isn't careful. Here we go up the inside at what looks like the final, ultimate sort of corner here.
That's a very strange part to move. Now, will he get him into the final corner or wait for turn one?
He goes to the outside.
He's going to do it to this
Homewood
corner.
is holding the inside. He can't really go there. So has to make sure he gets the best exit. The wheel spinning, the wheel turning. But here we go. The Subaru is well in the slipstream now. And can Alessandro Valente, on his return to the championship, get that second place? And is Nick Homewood going to feed him into the pit wall here? Oh no, he thinks better of that. But here we go. I thought the pit wall was a lot closer. But he's going to try up the inside. And here we go. It's last of the late breakers then. We've seen how late Valente breaks. What's going to happen here as they go to turn one? Through he goes up the inside. A little bit of dust being kicked up. And that is a superb maneuver by Alessandro Valente to get up to second place. Hunterberg Simulation 1-2. But let's not, Nick Homewood's not given up yet, of course. We've only got 2 minutes left, so we're getting into, I believe, the final 2 laps. There's Mia Rose about to start, I believe, the penultimate lap. Might be able to get another one in, such is their pace. But now Valente on the defensive, because Nick Homewood is still right with him. A little bit deep by Valente. I wonder, the wet tyres now, I wonder that might have been why Boris was struggling so much and spinning, because wet tyres are really just wheel spinning constantly on this surface. Homewood to the outside.
As we've got Nick Homewood going around the outside.
He's going to try and set up the exit here. And Valente
cheeky little
is a little bit deep, but just about collects himself. Schumann starting to get slightly back into this fight, only a couple of seconds behind. There it is, perhaps. But now I think Valente will stretch his legs ever so slightly, especially as they get back onto the back straight. Valente and Homewood are comparable, I believe. Homewood is actually fighting with Valente in the championship. 4th and 5th, I think, in the standings currently. So this could be a great opportunity for Valente to get into 3rd, or indeed 2nd, depending on how many points he gains on Rance and Davis, down in 7th and 8th respectively. As definitely feels like we're on the final, because he's probably going to run out of time before Mia Rose makes it to the checkered flag then. But there we go. Looks like Valente's just about, for the time being, got it covered. There is Mia Rose, who we've seen very little of. She's actually about to lap Chris Davis, the current championship leader, but not after this race, it would seem. And that's true.
Next race he's looking good,
will be very, very happy to start from pole position in race 2. But Mia Rose is going to take maximum score here, and that's going to be 4 out of 5 then in her court. As there we go, the clock runs out. Looks like Valente has pulled about a second on Homewood, so no need to cut back to that just yet. But here we go, last couple of corners, and Mia Rose can celebrate very briefly, because race 2 won't be a big gap between race 2 starts, but it's going to be a very, very well-earned victory for the Hunterbird Simulation driver. The 909, only 1 corner left to go here at Fuji.
Yeah.
And she drifts it in as wide as you like to focus on the exit. Is that Liam Rance actually not too far up the road? So Liam Rance will have to do another lap. Chris Davis, however, will not. But it's Mia Rose who takes maximum points here. Oh no, Liam Rance will slow down, and he needs to be careful here because Chris Davis can catch if he's not careful. But there we go, Mia Rose takes victory in race 1, and it looks like Liam Rance will finish 7th ahead of Chris Davis, crucially. So that was coordinated well by the 200 Boat Simulation teammates there. But here is Valente on his comeback. he is going to take second position, and that is going to be a very satisfying drive for him. After a messy first lap, he recovered to beat Nick Homewood and Ben Sporos in a thrilling duel. But Homewood is going to take another podium this season to keep his own championship hopes alive. And here we go. He crosses the line. It's 1-2 for Hunter Birch Simulation, and 3-4 for Finnerbond, Homewood third, and Peter Schoenman in fourth. Sorry. In fact, it's going to be a 3-4-5 for Finnerbond, because here comes Pascal Eggert after his drive-through. 30 seconds down, but still a very, very quick drive. Fastest lap for Pascal was a 1:55.9, which is that's comparable to what Homewood was doing, only a tenth off Homewood's best lap. But he was very consistent despite that penalty. And who knows, maybe Eggert starting mid-grid could do a bit better in race 2. But fifth, not a bad race 1 for him at all. Final man to cross the line will be Petrafki. Here he comes in the 22. I believe Cole might still be circulating as well in last place, which is 9th, of course. But Petrafki for Lev Speed comes to cross the line. Case of what might have been really for Lev Speed. And Mir Rose actually set the fastest lap of the race on that final lap, 1:53.002, which is very, very quick indeed. All of them did pretty well.
Yeah, good job from the drivers. They did well. Good job.
There we go. So let's have a look then.
Well.
Now that everyone's crossed the line, at the final results. I guess so. Yeah, I was just trying to.
We can already just announce them, can't we?
Go on.
So in P1 we've got Mia Robes in the 909 Hunter Birch simulation car. Very good job done by her.
Just need to do a bit of jiggery pokery with the broadcast quickly.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to the next race.
Good thing. Right, so we might have to cancel just briefly shut off the stream then. But we'll be back very soon, guys. And until then, join us soon for race 2. Right. It could be that we're lagging a lot, I think.
Yeah, good break. Well deserved. Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Right. You can take over, Nick, if you're listening.
Go.
Okay.
Tell me when we're gonna go, okay?
Well, it's a bit hard for me to tell because I pressed the button and then...
Oh, welcome
okay,
back.
we're in. Right,
Welcome
okay.
back. Yeah,
Welcome
hi.
back to the EERC British Touring Car round from Fuji, round 8 of the championship, of course.
Yeah. Still raining.
Is it a bit? That's interesting.
So we've also found out from a driver that it's really tough to drive. The front wheel drive.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
But, hopefully there's, I think you're saying there was broadcast less rain at least in this, as we see the tail enders, who of course were the front runners.
And we go already.
Wow, there we go. Sorry,
we're
we're still stuck at the back of the grid then.
Again.
Yeah, there we go.
Trying to
But it
make
is
it
McHugh leading rants at the moment, and it looks like is that Matrafki trying to come through on the inside.
Oh,
There we go. That looks like the 445 just hitting the back.
oh, that's Davis, I think.
Oh dear, more bad luck for Chris Davis.
Mia
then, I
Rose
think.
is already up to P2, and she only has to get past McHugh.
There we
However,
go,
I'm
so-
feeling Valente's going to try and race her.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Valente gets around the outside of... is that
No.
Rance, actually? Sorry. It's Liam
Oh,
Rance
yeah,
trying
it
to go
is
around
really
the outside.
Rance. Go on, Liam.
There we go. So Valente actually got a little bit caught once again in the melee at the start. But Rose holds on from Liam Rance. But it is Thomas McHugh, like you say, driving on a pad, the Irishman, to putting in a superb start to lead on this first lap with 21 minutes remaining. And it looks like a bit further back that Petrafki was under attack from Eggert. Here we go, Pascal Eggert, once again in a commanding mood. Let's see if we can get the driver's tab up again. But here we go, up the inside comes Eggert.
Oh!
Petrafki, and he spins him round, and that could be contentious as
all
Valente
okay,
behind.
all okay.
Makes a move on Homewood. There we go, good move there.
Nothing went wrong there. As he tries to down the inside now, he's got him. Is he down this on the same level? No, he's not. As Petrofsky
Oh, he
goes
comes back on and pushes him off track as unfortunately the auto director pulls us away while I'm trying to desperately get the driver box back up. There we go.
And Petrofsky's gone down the penultimate place. Chris Davis not having a mare here, isn't he?
He is, yes, down in 9th, and looks like Valente, Petrafki down in 8th, comes out behind home.
my
Here we
word.
go, the free Fring of Ons and Alessandro Valente. This is a familiar
And
sight.
Maximilian Petrofsky.
Yeah, this is going to get very, very messy indeed. Petrafki at the back of it, Valente just about at the front alongside Pascal Eggert, but Mia Rose now challenging for the lead at the end of the first lap. Is she going to pass Thomas McHugh already? As behind, it's all carnage in that battle for 4. Almost 4 wide down the straight. Does Mia Rose come up the inside? Yes, she does. And almost forces Thomas McHugh really wide there as the two leaders go side by
I think
side.
things happen to Schunemann and Valente.
Oh, there we go. Schumer Valente going a bit wide at turn 1.
Yeah.
And Mia Rose not able to overcome Thomas McHugh. Thomas McHugh keeps his foot in. Full marks there. And if he holds Mia Rose up, Liam Rance could become a factor here. Here we go.
Mia Rose is going to drive a move down the ends. No,
We saw how dominant she was, but this could be where there's a potential to make a mistake here. Up the inside she goes. Thomas McHugh is going to have the inside. Unless Mia Rose bumps him off. But that doesn't seem...
Mia is still... McHugh is doing really well for a power driver, isn't he?
He is, and he's in a front-wheel drive Vauxhall as well in the rain, which as
He's
we
in a
heard from Nick
Vauxhall.
Homewood, is not the easiest car to drive, but McHugh goes really wide, and that could allow Mia Rose to get a really good exit here, or it could hold, once again, Mia Rose gets held up ever so slightly, they go side by side, and this is where we saw trouble earlier, but Mia Rose cuts through, and up into first place once again. And now Thomas McHugh's going to have to defend second from Liam Rance, who's also caught up to the both of them. Liam Rance will not want to hang around here, because Liam Rance, I believe, is the current championship leader now after having beaten Chris Davis in the previous race.
Oh yeah, or is it Valente?
We'll have to see afterwards when we tally up the points. But I think Valente was behind Sven Gielhed by 2 or 3 points. Yeah, I think Valente was on something like 60 or 59 points, but there we go. McHugh gets a decent run out of the final corner as Rose sets the fastest lap of the race. Let's have a check in behind with Nick Homewood in 4th. He's got Petrafsky in 5th.
Because we've got like a battle coming up here.
Yeah, here we go.
Maximilian Eggert and
Valente.
Yeah, Valente going down the inside, really impressively squeezing him there. He's got him down the inside. We sadly didn't see what happened between them. I'd love to have seen that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was the autograph.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm joking.
But there we go. Valente flashes his lights actually. He doesn't like making it easy for himself, does he? This is the birth race all over again, where he's had a difficult start and then had to make up places. As Liam Rat's trying to go up the inside, which becomes the outside. Here we go.
Oh, he's going to get the switch back. No, he's not.
Bumps in the back of Thomas McHugh, who's alongside, and to the right here we should see the Lev speed just pop into view here. And indeed it does. White, orange and dark blue car. Liam Ransom, number 64, 100 simulation. We'll try to the outside then, before cutting back to the inside, because there wasn't really going to be a room on the outside there. We don't want to...
A lot of cutback for Liam Ransom, isn't it?
A little bit really tight exit there. I think he sort of got on the power, and he's got the inside line, and he's cleared Thomas McHugh. There we go, crucial move with 16 minutes left to go then. But McHugh has not given up completely just yet. And Liam Rance lets the rear slide out in the Subaru and just about comes in ahead of Thomas McHugh. And McHugh did really well not to get caught up there in that little drift, because that's the sort of thing that can so easily turn into an incident. But Mia Rose has already got nearly 3 seconds on Liam Rance now, so it's going to take quite the drive from Liam Rance to recover. But meanwhile, Valente is putting on another overtake show here. This time against Max Petrafsky.
Will he do it?
Petrafsky's on the outside here, so it's going to be very, very tense between the two as they come down the main straight. And the problem is that Petrafsky can't really squeeze him.
Contact!
They're rubbing against each other down the main straight.
What is Petrafsky doing? Like, there's so much space on the outside.
And it's going on just behind them as well, between the two Frenavons. There we go. It looks like Valente completes the move then, quite comfortably. But Schumann and Eggert, I think Schumann just got in front of Pascal Eggert there.
Honestly, that was really strange from Petrafsky there.
It was a little bit, but I think it was, I felt it was on the limit, but not to, he saw that he didn't have any more space to push Valente into, and then sort of thought better of it. And now Nick Homewood is next up. We've seen these two fight before, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that would be very interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be McHugh, Homewood, Valente in the fight for third. And I think Liam Rance...
McHugh's got a very good gap, actually. We knowing Valente's battles, they're a bit feisty.
I think Liam Rance would be wishing Mia Rose got held up for longer behind Thomas McHugh.
Yeah.
Because that would really have played to his personal advantage as well.
Thomas McHugh's doing really well.
All three of the Underbird simulation drivers are in the championship fight, really. It's all that was like a egg getting close to Schumann again. But I think there's no real need for me to establish any kind of team orders here, because Eggert has another look up the inside actually.
Come on.
Because all three are still in contention, so I'm sort of thinking
dive.
There's no need to tell Mia Rose to get out of the way for Liam Rance, because Mia Rose could easily win it herself, given that she's only about 20 points behind, I think. Here we go, up the inside goes Pascal, and these two they're teammates, but you wouldn't know it by the way they're racing each other. And Pascal gets sweeps ahead, at least temporarily, as the two go side by side down the main straight of Fuji, kicking up spray behind them.
As Valente is slowly catching Nick Homewood.
But Schumann has slipstreamed his way back ahead, at least for the time being. But now Eggert tucks in and gets his go. How late will he break into turn one?
No, he's not. Because we don't like seeing that. As they both go wide.
Schumann gets really and almost puts Eggert off there. By the way, he breaks so late into the first corner. But you're right. It's Valente closing on Homewood now. It's like a very, very interesting battle indeed. Valente really hungry to get another podium finish here. 1:53.4 for Mia Rose, 1:54.7 for Liam Rance. So nearly quite a distance between the two. Up the inside comes and they bump together then. But that's Valente through past Nick Homewood. So I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought that was going to be a lot harder. But now that releases. Or it does it, because Nick Homewood cuts to the inside. That was a little bit wide by Valente, and that was all the opportunity that Nick Homewood needed. And now it looks like the battle's going to continue then.
Yeah, as we continue going through.
Bumped in the back. The
A lot of
that doesn't get
bumping.
investigated
The
later.
battle
As
behind
Petrafsky
there,
really getting defensive here from the two Finner Bonds. It's Schoenman attacking him and Eggert in the wings as well. So Petrafsky having to really get the blinkers on his all. Eggert hits the side of Peter Schoenman. And just about gets away with that one. But here we go. Valente wants another go at Nick Homewood. Because he knows he's sort of got used to racing against Homewood last time. And the problem is that Homewood has sort of gotten used to Valente as well after having that big protracted battle last time out. So you begin to predict and second guess what the other guy will do. But now it's really a slipstream battle, as is the case just behind. Petrafsky is almost a sitting duck here, but so is Nick
he's
Homewood.
quite far up though. That's the thing. Like I don't see him going up there. As we
Nick
see,
Homewood-
Alessandro Valente going down into turn 1.
He's getting
Will
a
he
bit
do
more
a big
slipstream.
bit of a dive?
And the beautiful thing about the wet is you can see the visual slipstream they're picking up off of one another.
Yeah.
And
As he
is he
does
closing up? He's got the wheel alongside. He's going to try and get the exit here. And he's going to force his way around the outside into turn 3 and 4. As, oh, look in the background. That's Petrafsky under attack from Schoenman.
Touching, like...
It's Petrafsky once again getting very defensive and almost pushing Peter Schoenman off there. And that could be investigated afterwards because that was a little bit rough. That was a no holds barred for sure.
This is somewhat comedic.
Oh, look at this. This is get quite serious quite quickly as Valente once again looks to the outside, goes very, very wide, tries to go all the way around the outside of Nick Homewood. Can he pull this one off? That's going to be impressive if he can.
No.
Oh,
Anyway, go back,
that
go
wasn't
back,
quite
go
the
back.
grip. Oh! That's Pascal going wide there. And Petrafsky comes to a stop.
Yeah, he spun it.
Yeah.
Too much contact.
Doesn't look like there's too much damage to the wheel. But Valente continues in the... Oh, here we go! Up the inside! And Valente having to defend then. No, that's Homewood he's just cleared. There we go. So we've just seen the end of that great move then by Alessandro Valente. We saw him try and go around the outside of Nick Homewood, and then he tried to pull it off at the chicane and was completely successful there. Just cut to the inside and caught Nick Homewood napping slightly there. Caught me napping too.
Anyway,
He
he's going to
gets
go
on the
after
curb
Thomas
and drifts
McHugh now.
slightly. Surely now Thomas McHugh is going to be somewhat of a target now. It could be 100 for the first time ever under Bet Simulation, locking out the first 3 positions. Only Into the Points have been able to do that once at Bud, and that was a very controversial race as well, where Pascal Eggert made contact with Valente and Rance throughout that race, unfortunately in race 2, and didn't end entirely. Well, there was a new code of conduct I think enforced afterwards.
And that is enlighten us.
So anyway, looks like the 3 Finner Bonds are going to be quite close together now if they start to close on Homewood. As Valente goes a little bit wide, but not too much. As we go into the final 10 minutes of the race, Rance has struggled to really keep up with Mia Rose. The gap's 6.5 seconds now. But McHugh, let's look at his lap time. Last lap 1:57.2 for Thomas McHugh, Valente 1:56.0. So yeah, Valente comparatively flying, even though the 2 leaders are going much faster. Liam Rance 1:55.4, Mia Rose 1:53.6.
Oh, I mean, let's hope there's a battle, obviously, but I kind of want McHugh to get the podium. No, I want my man. No, I want Alain to get the podium every time. No bias there. I'm definitely not an Alessandro Valente fanboy, but happy for that. They could, you know what they could do is go on to dries that looks fairly.
Yeah, there's still a bit more time in this race than there was in the first one, but I think Valente is going to be more concerned with passing. Here we go in the immediate future. But McHugh defends the inside this time through there. That's where the 2 Underbirch teammates passed him. But Valente not quite getting the run he needs.
Just
But
a corner later.
Here we go into the penultimate corner, and he's up the inside. Unless McHugh can get a great exit around the outside here, it looks like Valente's going to hold the inside then into the final corner. Side by side they go. Thomas McHugh giving his level best. Valente lets the rear slide out here, and who's going to get the best run onto the back straight? I think McHugh might actually just have enough to hold on then. But it's very, very tight between the 2.
No, McHugh's going to have him. McHugh's going to have the overspeed.
And he's got significantly less ballast as well in that left speed.
Yeah, Cuts across them.
Yeah, Valente is going to have to make his move very decisively here into turn 1. McHugh on the outside. Valente, cuts in. Can he recover on the exit? Still very close. Almost spins Valente out. by accident there, but it looks like he will have to concede position then. And now Valente, now he is released, or is he? As McHugh almost tries to dive up the inside and makes Valente go really, really wide at the exit turn 3 through 4. They go almost side by side. Homewood getting back involved in this, and Homewood is going to fancy a go at Thomas McHugh now as well.
Yeah, actually, you know, there could be a move from McHugh now. Yep, there is.
Here we go, inside of Valente. Oh, just about clears him there, but that was scary times indeed.
That was interesting.
And now, Valente, the problem is it's like a 12 second gap to Liam Rance, who's now 7 seconds behind Mia Rose. So it's going to be difficult for Valente to do better than third, but needs to make sure he doesn't drop it as McHugh and Homewood now start to fight and squabble over 4th position. And Homewood indeed is not wasting any time because he still fancies a run, I think, at Valente. But depends what this forward focus can do, really. We know how much the front wheel drive cars. Oh, up the inside he goes, but Hugh goes very wide. It's the penultimate corner and rubs a few wheels. And he's still up the inside though, so is he going to dive deep into the final corner? Indeed he is.
Yeah, the logical
thing will have to go the long way round here.
Push it,
depends all about his exit hit. Oh, and he slots in behind so he can pick up the slipstream. This is very intelligent racing then by Nick Homewood. He's got a face full of Vauxhall.
Nothing any driver likes to see, a Vauxhall.
Or indeed an Opel.
Yeah.
Up the inside. Oh, that's true, yeah. Just a
German engineering from Hessen.
Here we go. Homewood up the inside then, as I believe Joshua Birches has joined us in the commentary box because we've overrun. So he can join us here as we see a 100 simulation 1, 2, 3, and Nick Homewood just slotting up the inside into 4th position. With 6 minutes left to go, but McHugh keeps his foot in.
He's gone against the Fernando Alonso rule.
All the time you have to leave the space.
Well, it was at this track, of course, in 2007 where Alonso became a pinball wizard, was bouncing back around on the circuit several times, and then won it a year later.
McHugh's coming down looking
McHugh gets a wheel on the grass there. He's really fighting hard against Nick Homewood.
Yeah, this is
Can the left speed sneak it back into 4th position here? It looks unlikely, but Nick Homewood is going to have to defend like crazy for the time being.
Defend like a lion?
Yes, I was just going to say that.
And Thomas McHugh unable to really get on alongside now, and could be a question of holding off Schumann for 5th now.
Yeah. Dive it down the inside. Dive it down.
Oh, he'll certainly want to, but will he even be able to? Is he braking very late? They both brake really late into the chicane. He wins the common around! I can't believe it!
He's mastered him!
And that's going to be unhappy indeed for Nick Homewood, who was looking good for a 4th position, could have even challenged for 3rd then. And I think he's very, very unhappy with Thomas McHugh.
He stole the car.
He's got going
again.
I
think he's down in 8th position, just ahead of only Chris Davis, who's had another horrible race actually.
That is identical to what Massa did to Hamilton in 2008 at exactly the same part of the track, just cut across the grass and pitched him off. It's 9 times out of 10, that chicane is the most pointless chicane in the history of any racetrack.
Well, I think Nick Homewood would be wishing it wasn't there.
It doesn't even slow...
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't, it's completely useless. I mean, you know, though, the FIA has some completely stupid safety rules sometimes, I think.
It's about as useful as a chocolate teapot in this heat in the UK.
It's also as useless as F1 cars in the rain.
Yeah, Spa. Yeah.
Monaco.
Yes, that too, yeah, like that.
What else? They've delayed a few races because of cars, which I think is disappointing.
We had one here, didn't we, in 07? That was a great race, I think. One of my favourite races.
I was 2.
The first half of it was held under this. Oh, dude, you made me feel old now.
I feel old now, Ed, yeah.
I mean, no, the earliest memory I've got of F1 was like 08, I think, though. Like watching Screaming Massa.
Yeah, year before was that Fuji
race.
race.
I think I was about 12 or 13 during 2007, 2008, so... So yeah, that's how old I was. I'm about 10 years older than most of the drivers here, including Tobias. But anyway...
It's the old man's club, just rocking in our chairs.
Yeah, there we go. As Valente gets really late on the brakes again. It's just as well Nick Homewood isn't there challenging him right behind, so we can get away. But I think Valente is really pushing that because you've joined at a good time actually, Josh, because the 100 simulation 1, 2, 3 in this race, which has never happened before.
Egget Petravki.
Oh, well,
never mind. Petravki's messed it up completely.
Well, I think Egget is behind Schumann, so it's...
Yeah, he's still behind Schumacher.
Well, we just finished on PSGL as well, so we're coming over here immediately, and I was looking forward to this touring car race at Fuji, and I'm looking forward as well to, because this, of course, it's a week later than it was originally planned.
Oh, Thomas McHugh retires. Sorry, Josh, to cut across you there.
No,
Thomas
he's
McHugh
probably had a
gets
internet
disconnected
failure again.
Oh no, that's exactly what happened in the first race, but a brilliant performance from Thomas McHugh goes unrewarded. He defended the podium position for so long there, but now
that's rough.
That's really going to be, it's really Finnebond. Due to the low attendance here, it's really just
Vauxhall Power.
Hunter Birch versus Finnebond, and it looks like Hunter Birch are winning at the moment.
To be fair, that's great, because Finnebond as well dominated nearly every series so far, so it's nice that in our first
They
season...
even moved into Formula Sim racing, where me and
They did, yeah.
Toby have been commentating in the Academy series, so we got to see Peter. And Edgar goes very, very wide.
Peter was mildly disappointing.
It was a little bit, but...
yeah, it's just mildly took
I think
out the
Milan
scene.
Evers did slightly better.
No, they
Peter,
both,
oh no, he crashed into Peter.
one of them crashed into each other. It was Mio who crashed into Peter. Sorry, Peter, it was Mio, it was your teammate.
I know Nick Homewood is going to be at Interlagos in about just over a week's time. So that'll be very, very exciting. As well as the World Championship, there's only 2 points in it between Alex Siebel and Colin
we
Sport.
don't advertise for other leagues.
I know, but I do the highlights and the videos.
My phone started going off, that's not nice.
Well, it's probably something more important than us, so I don't want to interrupt you.
It's about my mum's 60th tomorrow.
Well, that does sound more important as we look at Eggert starting to close on Schoenemann now. At least the battle for fourth, and Schoenemann looking very, very vulnerable indeed. It's all about who's got them. Well, actually, the tyres don't wear, don't they? So the wets will be fine because they turned off tyre wear because apparently advantage the Subarus a bit too much. Nonetheless, it's a Subaru 1-2-3 at the moment as well. Eggert has a little look up the inside. We're going into the final minute now, so Eggert's not got a whole lot of time to pull this one off. So he needs to collect himself up and get another assault in. And if he slips up, that's going to be Petrafsky for as well.
Ed, are they allowed to change the rules mid-season to just try and stop one of the cars?
Up the inside he comes. But he's going to compromise his exit ever so slightly. Or is he? He gets the traction down. And
Schumann's just lost time massively.
So here we go, Finnebond, side by side they go. The white and yellow teams. There's technically two separate teams here, even though they've got the same livery, the same umbrella. We should run a second Hunter Birch team, especially to make up the numbers. But here we go. Eggert will have to swap back into the slipstream. And will you fancy a go as the clock about to run out then? Because Rose about to finish the race. But will Eggert make a move up the inside?
He's overdone it.
Oh, but Schumann is going to set himself up perfectly for the exit then. And he's going to take the outside line here as the clock runs out then. And looks like Schumann has just moved ahead on the outside. So there we go. But Mia Rose is not far from the end of the race, just going through the final few corners now. But let's keep an eye then as Pascal has just again having a little nip up the inside, having a little
He's
nibble.
He's gonna dive it.
Will he have a go up the inside into the hairpin? One of several hairpins we see on this circuit. But no, Pascal has to fall short. Admir Rose coming through the final corner now once again, letting the rear hang out as wide as she likes because she's pushing for that fastest lap.
Well, there's also
no time. A 1:53.4. Here we go towards the line then, and it's going to be 5 wins from 6 races then for Mia Rose. What an absolutely dominant display. Here we go towards the line then, and it's victory in Fuji for Mia Rose. The matriarch has dominated once again, and what a superb display she's put on. And Liam Brantz, who's no slow coach whatsoever, 10 seconds in arrears. But Pascal Eggert, getting into trouble because Petrafsky having a go at him here.
Come on, Max.
And in fact, there's Schumann right in front. But Petrafsky hits a bad exit. They make contact. And Schumann's going to be left stranded on the outside here. I think Pascal's done it.
No, has Petrafsky got it too?
Here we go. It's a drag race now to the line between these three. And Schumann, is he going to miss out on that 4th position? They all make contact. And Schumann is spun around. So it's going to be Pascal Eggert that just holds on for Petrafsky for 4th. They come together there. And then by the slenderest of margins, Maximilian Petrafsky misses out. But he had to slot his car in the middle there. He had to do it, didn't he? He could not resist.
Can you believe it happened immediately?
Well, it took the whole race. You came in, Josh, and it all kicked off like a firecracker.
I have that effect on people.
But, crucially of all, it's a 100% simulation. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Try to avoid the bias, guys.
I see trees are green.
Yes, and a great weekend for Valente was second and third. But now that the race is over, hopefully, if there are any drivers in the we got Nick Homewood and no one else. So I guess that's going to be our interview. But let's have a look at the race results, shall we? Before we move on.
Well,
here we go.
Should I do the race results?
Sure thing, Toby.
P1 we got Hunter Birch Simulations, Mia Rose. P2 we've got Hunter Birch Simulations, Leon Morant. P3 we've got Hunter Birch Simulations, Alessandro
Sorry, we didn't get
Valente.
that. We didn't get that. Could you repeat it?
No, we can't repeat it. I'm sorry. We don't have the time for that. Time constraints. P4
Our
we've
egos
got
are too big.
Fina von Motorsport Green, Pascal Eggert, Maximilian Petrovsky for Team Lev Speed, Peter Schumann for Fina von Motorsport White Racist. Fina von Motorsport Green, 445 Nick Homewood, who's going to be commentating. Nicky H, going to be coming in for an
Nicky
interview.
H. I've never heard him call that by anyone other than you, Toby.
Chris Davis, we got Team Lev Speed, and then unfortunately Thomas Mahue in last place.
Having retired, yeah. So that's a big shame for Mahue, because I really thought he would have been right in the middle of that battle between Petrovsky, Eggert, and Schumann. But that could well be investigated after the race anyway. But now,
please don't investigate it. I think that's completely fair.
Okay, they might go for the Massa Kubica route and just say, well, it was.
Can I start the interview?
Sure thing. I'm just trying to look for the overlay picture. Where's the picture thing?
Oh, wait, no, we can just look at the pit building.
I'm trying to. Okay, well, fine. It doesn't matter. Shall we get Nick Homewood in, because he's waiting in the steward's room, which I'm gonna. Oh, Mia Rose has joined. Let's have a chat with Mia Rose, our race winner. Why not? Sorry. We'll talk to Nick afterwards. I promise.
Mia, hi. Hello. Wait, are you on mute? Oh, she's on mute.
That's okay. I gave him permission. It's all good. It's all good.
Good. So, hi, Mia. Welcome. 2 wins of 2. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. Tyres probably don't like it, but
well, they turned the tyre wear off, so you should be fine on that one.
Were you trying to drift a little bit in the race then?
look, honestly, I wasn't trying to drift it. The car wanted me to drift, so I just went with it.
Yeah, as you should. Did you see that last lap, drag race to the finish between Petrovsky on stream? You should really check that out. It's pretty funny.
I saw the timing was close, and I didn't look because I was too busy doing other things. But I saw the time was close. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, basically what happened is I'm going to tell this to every interview he comes in here. Maybe except for Nick, as he knows already what's happened. Basically what happened was that Petrovsky, they were going 3 wide. Petrovsky tried slotting in the middle, and then he spun Nick out. It was pretty entertaining.
Whoa.
So no, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Nick, but you know, it happens. But no, do you think you can still win the championship? I mean, you entered a bit late, but you know.
I think she's very much in the hunt, because she was only about 25 points off coming into this one, and she's won both races.
I think it was like 18. Hang on, let me check.
Yeah, it was even less. There we go. So
yeah.
I think Mia, Alessandro, and Liam are all right in the hunt, which is exactly the way I want it. And congrats, Mia, for winning both races as well. That's, I think, 5 out of 6 you've won so far. And superb in those wet conditions too.
The only person I will thank during that reverse grid race is the person who took out 3/4 of the field in front of me. You're probably going to be hated for it, but I thank you for it because you made me do all of my hard work in one corner.
It was one of the Finavon drivers, wasn't it? I didn't quite see who it was. But McHugh put up a decent fight, didn't he? Because I always thought he was going to back you into Liam for a while, but he sort of ran a bit wide on that, was it quad ultimate corner? I forget what it's called.
Something.
The one just after the chicane.
Tilka.
Basically, what had happened was that I tried twice to get him, but he just got the drive a tiny bit out the corner. Because ballast. And then through the chicane, he bottled it hard, so I just sat behind and then just sent it up the inside, beat him to the apex. I'm like, righto, we're done, let's go.
Yeah, and it was very
No, he
impressive
did-
how you were able to pull away from Liam as well, who we know is no slouch, and you were fighting with him in qualifying as well for that pole position. And I think Liam had to abandon that last run, even though he set a purple middle sector because he knew that last sector wasn't quite good enough to beat you.
Yeah, I think it was because I'd done 0 wet running before that quali session,
Oh wow!
so I was learning. I was learning while I was going, and
Well,
that
you are a
last lap
natural,
was
it
just
seems.
it was just that last lap. Everything I got everything together and it clicked, and I was like, I think off memory halfway through the lap, I was like upwards to a second up, and I'm like, well, if I don't bottle it, this is pole. So.
Yeah, you didn't bottle it at all, and your pace race was stellar, and another brilliant weekend from you, Miro. So congratulations, and also for leading as well, the first ever 1-2-3 that we've done. Annoyingly, Into the Points beat us to doing a 1-2-3 early in the season, but it's the first time we've ever done it, so I think that certainly should be something to celebrate. Just fielding 3 cars in itself is an achievement, but getting them all across the line before everyone else, even in a slightly reduced field, I mean, we'll ignore that, but... But I think it's great to have Josh as well to see that. So, Josh, do you have anything to say to our successful driver before she goes off to get some well-earned sleep?
Please don't leave our team. You are one of the greatest we've ever had, and I am so proud of the team that Ed has put up around, and I'm so proud of all the drivers as well. And keep it up.
For some reason, Mira, I keep calling you the matriarch of mastery or something like that. It's something I feel like it's a silly name, and maybe I should stop using it.
all right, calm down, gentle. We've still got an endurance race to do, okay?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, very good point with our LMP1 entry, and that's in 2 days' time as well. With Mir, Eric, and Ernest Lappins.
I'm looking forward to that one.
So that's going to be.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. He's agreed to drive for us today, so it's all been a bit chaotic, but we finally got the lineup sorted. So I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, Mir, before that race starts, you should get some well-earned rest. Congratulations. And is Nick Homewood? No, Nick's given up. He's bored away. I think after how that race ended, with Nick getting spun around by McHugh and then McHugh retiring, so we can't even penalise him and get revenge. I think he'll be a bit annoyed about that. But anyway, fair enough. So I guess... we should finish up then. Any closing thoughts then? We're going into the tail end of the season. We still got Imola and Bahrain left to go.
Well,
but the standings have really tightened up. I believe Liam Rance has retaken the lead of the championship, though.
well, one thing that's coming across my mind as well is the fact is that, once again, the championship is just now between us.
I believe we officially won the team's title.
Today.
Because
I
we
think
must
we've
be
done
140 ahead of Iris, because Iris didn't do the race. So.
Yeah, so we've done the
Damn
teams.
it.
Well done, everyone. But it's the drivers that we want as well. And I've just also realised that me and you are going to be so tired on Saturday, Sunday, because we're up early to do the Formula E race, and then we've got to do
Well, on
the
Sunday,
warehouse.
I've got
And
to
Sunday
go
too.
to friends of the family. They're doing a Sunday lunch.
I'm
So we're
going to
going
go
over to
watch
see them,
football.
so-
I'm going to watch Bundesliga.
Gonna be-
Bundesliga.
So I'll have probably enough time to watch the Formula E race, maybe do a little bit at the start of Grid Network and rush off to do this.
I'll tell you what, Ed, as well, I still haven't seen London race 2. I have not had the time. I
Well, I was
missed
there,
it.
so-
You watched it. I missed it all. And I'll catch up, obviously, in the week. But it felt very weird as not being in the combox for that one. So we'll be back. And then, of course, we've got this coming up as well with the
I think Channel 4 put some
Fusions
15-minute highlights, so you can catch up there. Or you can
is
watch
it?
the 10-minute video that I sent you. Did I send it for the eye shot?
I think I got something, but my Discord has not been working. I've not been
Okay.
getting anybody's messages, so I'll double check with that, because
Anyway.
so far this one's popping. Anyway, we're rambling. Go on, Ed.
True. We should probably
Yeah.
close up here. Any closing thoughts, Toby, before I let you go?
I'm going to just say this now. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a bit of a one-off thing, I think. Hopefully this serves my penalty.
No, sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure Nick will suddenly get rid of the 60 kilograms of ballast and the sort of after doing your community service commentary with me. You haven't put up with me for
Yeah.
like an hour, and also the delays before race 2.
Like
No.
like Max Verstappen when he was made to do the community service, you're free.
Oh, when he went to the Formula
Yeah,
Marrakesh,
yeah.
when just to watch what the stewards do. That was quite funny. One of Charlie Whiting's funnier pranks. But anyway,
So, yeah, no, I think that's it from me. That's definitely it from Ed, I think.
yeah, and
and
that's it from Josh.
Yes, goodbye.
So,
Yeah, goodbye.
2 out of 2 for Miro. 5 out of 6 for Miro Road, but 2 out of 2 for this weekend, and the championship getting ever tighter. A bad day for Chris Davis, but Liam Rance retakes the lead of the championship. 100% Simulation seals the team's title 2 rounds early. We'll be back with touring cars in Imola next month in September, but we'll be back for endurance racing in 2 days' time, back here at Fuji Speedway, and it's going to be quite an amazing 8 hours, and lots of things to look forward to there, so don't miss that. But from Fuji for now, it's goodbye from me, Josh, Mia, Toby, and of course Nick Homewood, of course.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hopefully I've stopped the stream.
Yeah, we're cooking now.
Oh, because it's lagging so much.